Hey guys, in this video I thought I would discuss an article that I just wrote on my blog called The Biggest Mistake Foreigners Make in the Philippines. So what exactly is that mistake? Stick around. Alright guys, so I've talked about this before. I'm going to go into much more detail this time, and there will be a link to my blog if you want links to some of the things I reference, and also more detail, a bit more comprehensive when I write these articles. So that is down below in the description or in a pinned comment. The biggest mistake I find is that people don't have any savings. A lot of people I know actually have a very good pension. I've got buddies who bring in 4, 5K, 6K a month, and unbelievably, they have no liquid savings, no savings at all. And so while that may be okay, and they live very nicely here in the Philippines on that big amount, and I have plenty of friends that live on far less and still have a very happy life, even though they have this big pension coming in each month, somehow at the end of each month, they still have no money left. They have no savings, and I don't know what is happening. I don't know. I'm assuming that these are habits that people are bringing with them out here to the Philippines. Learning how to save, having a liquid account. I mean, I think people have a false sense of being secure when they have a decent sized pension. They think that, oh, I've got plenty, I make plenty of money, plenty is coming in. But if you have one big event happen, that pension really does you no good. You have no money until the first of next month, perhaps. So these are some of the mistakes that I've made myself. I blew through my liquid savings pretty quickly when I moved out here. I've discussed this again in a previous video. But I had 10K US, and I was in vacation mode. I was just spend, over tipping, because everything was a comparison to the US. I was thinking, God, in the US, this would be 3 times this amount. So no problem, I didn't even question the amount. The taxi driver, instead of a 200 peso ride, I'd give him a 500 peso bill and say, keep the change. Just extravagant. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving somebody here a nice tip. If they work hard and they deserve it, sure. But I was tipping for even no reason, and tipping everybody. And then I found out, hey, you don't need to tip this person. There's that, and also, again, the comparison with pesos to dollars, or pesos to whatever your home currency is. A lot of people just think, they just automatically compare. Oh, in Australia, it would cost me this much. And automatically you would think, okay, I'm getting a great deal, because in Australia it'd be 3 times this amount. But in fact, you're still double paying, perhaps, even in the Philippines. So you got to learn what prices cost, ask around, hey, how much should I be paying for this? And again, it's okay to tip and maybe give a little bit more because you're a foreigner and maybe they expect it even. You can blow through money pretty quickly here. But I had blown through this money in about 6 months, and it took me a while to regain it, get hold of myself, and save back up. Now, this was not my retirement fund or anything. This was just a liquid fund for savings. Now, savings for me, I ended up a few different scenarios I'm going to talk about. One, I think you should start some kind of savings. The one I use is down in the description. It's called Acorns. It just rounds up your spare change. Some of you might be familiar with it. Whatever one you use, it really doesn't matter as long as you're saving a little bit. But saving for a few reasons. One, if an emergency happens, you need to get back home, a natural disaster, whatever, you got to have some kind of a liquid savings, usually a medical emergency. Even when I was working in the Philippines and I had medical insurance, I had full medical insurance. I went into the hospital one day, the emergency room, because of an emergency, and they said, oh, we can't get hold of your insurance company, so you'll have to pay this amount. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's nothing like the way it worked in the US. And I was like, you don't just keep calling them, or you don't have it billed to them, but it was weird the way it worked. So even if you have medical insurance, you still may have something that's not covered. an emergency where you got to get back home. I've got a friend who's going through some eye issues. He's probably going to do medical tourism, go to Malaysia and get the work done. I will do a blog on that in the future, or a vlog or blog, and I will discuss and go through some checkups and things like that. And my friend's probably going to do the same, and we'll get into that further at a later time. But save, save, save. I mean, even if it's just $100 a month or whatever, get yourself some liquid savings. And don't blow through your salary or your pension each month. You just never know. And it may not even be your own emergency. It may be that your girlfriend has an emergency. She gets hurt in a motorbike wreck or whatever. You just need to have some money. And you need to have money for you to be able to get back home, because sometimes you may not want to be taken care of here if there's a medical emergency. If it's something serious, maybe it's less expensive and better for you to fly over to Malaysia or to Guam or back to the US or Thailand or one of those places. The other thing is, cash is king in the Philippines. Cash, I found out very quickly, everywhere takes cash. Not every place takes a credit card or debit card. In fact, it's usually more common that they don't take it. But what they do take are apps, one known as PayMaya. You think it would be my girlfriend Maya would be rich, but no, it's just another app similar to GCash. I still like GCash a little bit better. I find the interface a little nicer. And if you have a Wise bank account, you can transfer money directly from Wise into your GCash account, which is very handy. And GCash, you can pay, for example, I was at the coffee shop the other day and I had this like specialty brew, and I just noticed that they take GCash, they take PayMaya. And believe it or not, I forgot my wallet at home. But what I didn't forget was my phone, and I had my GCash, so I was still able to pay for my coffee. Maybe an event where there's a big crowd, you don't want to carry your wallet. Carry your phone. In almost every little place, even little sorry stores. I've had little sorry stores way up in the mountains in the deepest province. Take GCash. Yeah. GCash, you have to have your Philippines phone number first before you can open one. And I find, again, Wise is very, very handy for that purpose, transferring money. You can have a debit card with it. There's links to all these things down below, or link to my article where you can get all the links and everything as well. And when the typhoon hit, when I was in Cebu, many of you were viewers at that time, and I was doing daily little short video updates. As you know, the ATMs ran out of cash. There was no internet, so they weren't online anyway. And the roads were non-accessible, so you couldn't get to the ATM even if you could find one that was accessible or that had money in it. They ran out of money very quickly, and you couldn't even get to it because the roads were covered in trees. Luckily, me and my friends, most of us all had money, cash reserve sitting in our condo. So if you're living here, you really should have, in my opinion, now you guys can let me know in the comments, but you really should have about a month's worth of living costs in cash in your apartment or house or condo, and keep it locked up or in a locked tote bag or whatever. And if something happens, you never know. I'm telling you, if an earthquake or a typhoon hits and everything shuts down here, and it becomes a cash society. And it already is a cash society, but even more so. So it's very important to keep cash on hand just in case. You never know. And even during normal times, it's not uncommon that you go to the ATM and there's no cash. Maybe it was payday, and all the Filipinos like to go and take all their money out of their bank account when their payday comes. So, always have, in my opinion, a month worth of living costs in cash. The bottom line is always have cash on hand, have a way to access your money a few different ways, like a Wise ATM card, a bank card, maybe a second bank account, maybe a local bank account, and maybe have some money in that one. But always have more than one way to access your money, just in case you lose your card. And then again, always have cash on hand just in case. And I also really like GCash, because GCash, I don't need to bring my wallet out. I can go to a festival, and as long as I have my phone in my hand, they're not going to grab that. But if somebody grabs your wallet, your ID, your ATM card, you can really be screwed, and it's hard to get your replacement card back here in the Philippines. Even with the FedEx, it can take a week or so, a couple weeks. Speaking of, I had my last Amazon shipment came in 7 days. 7 days, that's right. There you have it. Again, you can read my article for more information and links and everything, but everything is down in the description or the pinned comment. So thanks guys for watching, and I will see you next time.